For Super Bowl Sunday, I went to a party here in the Dominican Republic to watch, including, of course, the Bad Bunny halftime show. And in this video, I'm gonna explain how that went and also talk about all of the hubbub about his halftime show and my personal take on it. All right, let me set the scene. I was in Santo Domingo at this amazing place and I was able to watch the halftime show in this setting. I'll show you a quick video I took on my phone right here. Now, in attendance at this halftime show were a couple of really interesting people, including two Major League Baseball players, Nelson Cruz and David Ortiz, Big Papi himself. I know, humble brag. More on them in a little bit. The first half was mostly people networking. People weren't really that tuned into the game itself, but once halftime came, everybody sat down for sure, was getting ready, was huddled around the television, and we watched Bad Bunny go. And then about 2/3 of the way, maybe toward the end of his presentation, of his show, he did something that made everybody react. He said Dominican Republic, and everybody cheered. Go figure, right? People sat down, they watched a halftime show, they heard their country shouted out, they cheered, then everybody went back to networking. Now, the outside world apparently had a very, very different reaction. People are showing videos of nobody dancing in the crowd. Pundits are coming on and talking about all these issues with the fact that he was even there or even the quality of the show itself. So what I'm gonna do is break down the 3 most common objections to Bad Bunny's halftime show, give you my take, and hopefully prepare you with some talking points when this topic comes up. First objection. It was all in Spanish. We couldn't understand the show. Really? Do you know how many songs in English to this day I learned after singing them for 30 years that I'm saying the wrong lyrics? You ever heard Celine Dion sing a song? I mean, come on. Mumble rap is a thing. Can you tell me what the future is saying? I can't. Hell, to this day, there's still a raging debate about, is it I'm blue, dabu dee dabu die, or I'm blue, if I were green, I would die. Which one is it, by the way? Drop it down below in the comments. I'm still not sure. The whole idea that if you don't understand every word that you're seeing, that you can't be entertained by the production and all of the other things on there is just crazy to me. How many people pay a lot of money to go to an opera to hear somebody sing something in Italian that they can't understand, only to say, I was so moved by it, I felt emotion, even though I didn't understand the language? You can do that, but you can't get some emotion out of watching Bad Bunny? Really? Look, I get that English is the primary language of the United States, and it will be. And in fact, I believe that English should be the national language of the U.S. I think every country should have a national language. Spanish here, English there. But it doesn't mean you can't appreciate art just because the language isn't the same. I go back to my opera example. The second is that it was politically charged, giving critiques to the fact that Bad Bunny has certain political positions that not everybody agrees with. And look, I don't agree with some of his political positions, at least the ones I'm aware of. I don't really know truly his political position. But can we be clear on something here? He's an artist. He's a 31-year-old Latin American singer. What do I care what his political positions are if I can bob my head a little bit when he starts playing Monaco? It's like the people who lost their mind with Billie Eilish saying at the Grammys or Oscars or whatever self-loathing award show that they did, like, you can't be illegal and stolen land. Like, I'm one of those who said, like, then give it back. Shut up. Just take your award, go sit down. I'm with Ricky Gervais on this. What am I listening to a 24-year-old that has no clue about real life? Are you really? Look, that would be like me speaking. Would you trust me to tell you the real story on the ground in Haiti? No, I don't have context for that, just like she doesn't. But whatever, if she sings a good song, cool. Now, why entertainers have to weave politics into their message, I don't know why. But also why we have to take their politics as some way of not being able to enjoy their entertainment, I don't know why that is either. I'll never forget Dave Chappelle talking about after 9/11, MTV got Ja Rule on, and the joke in his comedy skit is something like, where's Ja? I need to hear from Ja on this. It's ridiculous. Apparently, Bad Bunny is anti-ICE. I don't know how true or how much that is, if he's militantly, aggressively against him or just feels their tactics should change. No idea, don't care. If he doesn't think ICE should exist, then he and I are at odds on that. I don't believe all the tactics ICE uses are the right ones, but I've always been a supporter of law enforcement. But when I'm watching a guy do an incredible show at halftime of the Super Bowl, I'm not thinking to myself like, yeah, I wonder where this guy stands on abortion. The third one that I hear a lot is like, this wasn't American enough. Football is an American sport, and English is the primary language in America. We need America. And like, really? Isn't Puerto Rico America? Aren't Latin Americans American? I'm like, and not even like, let's not even get into the America, North, South America, like, Latin Americans in the United States, they are United States people, they're Americans. When Michael Jackson or Kendrick Lamar went on stage to do the Super Bowl halftime show, I'm sure Black Americans were very proud to see another Black American in that prominent spot. When Eminem was part of a halftime show. I'm sure Detroit people were like, yeah, our boy. If I were on the halftime show, my little town that I grew up in upstate New York would probably be like, yeah, that guy's from my town. So why can't Latin Americans have a Latin American star, who, by the way, is the biggest star in the world right now, represent them at the Super Bowl? Why can't they be proud of that? Why are we delineating Puerto Rico, especially from America? Makes no sense. It's not even about like, oh, there's enough Spanish spoken. I don't even care about that argument. That's not the point. I don't care if nobody speaks Spanish. This dude decided to do his art in Spanish. I don't even know if he speaks great English. I'm sure he does. Again, I don't follow this guy. Great artist. That's all I know. But hell, Biggie would go out there and grunt, and I would be going to it like, yeah, It was awesome. It's not even a language. And here we are upset that he's singing in a language. Honestly, here's what I wish we could all say, because this is exactly how I feel. We just watched marketing brilliance. This guy's build up to the Super Bowl, all that he talked about in advance, the size and scope of the audience he created to watch just the halftime show. Insane. The NFL, in their own marketing brilliance, recognized like, man, Latin Americans are still football fans. I live here in the Dominican Republic. There's a dude in my neighborhood who's never lived anywhere but the Dominican Republic, and he might be a bigger Bills fan than me. I remember him telling me he's a Bills fan. I was like, that's cute. Like, I'm upstate New York Bills fan, purebred. And I dropped like a stat noted by a podcaster I listened to who does a daily podcast on the Bills, like in the offseason, Wednesday, 23 minutes in, just to prove my dominance as a Bills fan. This dude came back by furthering that stat with something on the Thursday show. I just bowed down. But he's a real football fan. And you don't think he watched that prideful and feeling great, seeing somebody, Latin American, singing in his native language at the Super Bowl? It's amazing. Brilliant marketing by Bad Bunny. Brilliant marketing by the NFL. Why can't we appreciate that? I also wish you could flip over and watch, after the Bad Bunny one, the Kid Rock halftime show that Turning Point put on. It was pretty good. Not the one I want to watch primarily. Bad Bunny's was better, but it's okay to say that was good too. But the irony on the Kid Rock thing is somehow he's representing like, pure American music. I remember when Kid Rock was first coming up, those same people that are like cheering and awkwardly dancing wherever the hell they were on C-SPAN or whatever that broadcast his concert, the same ones that said he was a morally bankrupt, bad influence on kids artist 20 years ago. The hypocrisy all the way around blows my mind. And then lastly, like, why is a Super Bowl halftime show politically divisive? On this one, I go right to the president. Like, Trump, man, like, go out there and end wars. You've done a great job with that. Do things with the economy. Keep China at bay from becoming the world's dominant economy. Economy. That was a weird, like, economy. You got me. Like, this is your midterm strategy? Piss off everyone around the world by saying, oh, Bad Bunny shouldn't be the halftime show. Come on, man. As ridiculous as it is that COVID was somehow a political issue, the halftime show being anything other than fun, entertaining, interesting, that's all it is. Look, I left the party that I was at and I went to another party with my friend Jonah and my friend Jay at Dave & Buster's, which just opened in Santo Domingo. Who knew? And they were describing the scene there. It was fairly packed when I got there, but they're like, dude, it was double packed. A lot of people left after halftime. Again, all those eyes on the NFL from around the world, just like that. And you know what they did at that Super Bowl party when Bad Bunny said República Dominicana? They cheered. That's it. Little pride, went home, and we're mad about this. So look, for the powers that be out there, like, make sure that your immigration policy is enforced. Keep ICE reined in so their tactics aren't over the top. Again, end some wars, take care of the economy, and then just bob your head to DTMF, please. Live and let live, man. By the way, because my audience is in the United States, everybody's doing this like calculation on, is he left, is he right? Trump good, Trump bad, where is he on this? And I've often said like, oh, I'm probably center right. And now I hate saying that. You know why? Because it's not even my definition. I'm fitting myself into your box. I don't think Trump is evil. I think there's some things he's done that are really good. I think there's some things I thought were going to be bad that were better than they were. And then I think there's some stuff that he does that are really bad. Like, you can exist in both worlds. Whoa. On this one, I think him getting involved and vilifying this halftime show was just stupid. But he's an 80-year-old dude who wants to hear his rock music. Whatever. Go do that. Leave the rest of us alone. And if you're watching me, a lot of influence right now are saying, don't follow me for this, don't follow me for that. Here's what I would say to you. If you love Trump, follow along. If you hate Trump, follow along. Put all that crap aside. I talk about life in this beautiful country. I share my perspective on things like the Bad Bunny halftime show. I'll look at the politics of something, the decisions made by policymakers here and abroad, and what the impact is here in DR. Analytically. And for those of you that are like, yeah, I don't love the point he just made, but I get what he's saying. Like, yeah, you're my people, but I don't need people to unfollow. I don't need you to follow either. Do you? But this is a community, this content of people that just, they want to break from the political divisiveness. They don't mind having discussions about politics without making it personal. And that's my whole inner circle. If you want to join that, jamiegruber.com, check it out. But with this group of people, like, we can have discussion without it getting personal. It's a beautiful place to be. So regardless of your take, regardless of your perspective, sending love from DR. And I would say the only people that should not follow me, if I had to tell you don't follow me anymore, Patriot fans. Ooh, insult to injury, baby. I love doing it. Just like that loss. Never mind Ortiz and Nelson Cruz and all that stuff. The best part of the weekend was watching Drake May be exposed. Whew. Bitter Bills fan. Bitter Bills fan. Now to finish the story with Ortiz and Nelson Cruz, a really cool moment for me as a brand. And if you're here this deep into the video, then you're probably somebody that watches my stuff a lot. When I met Nelson Cruz first, he's like, oh yeah, man, I know you. I watch you all the time on Instagram. I was like, oh, that's cool. I just don't think that happens. As we're chatting, he's like, yeah, I'll introduce you to Poppy. We go over and we meet David Ortiz. He stands up. Nelson Cruz says to him, oh, this guy, Jamie Gruber, he does this, this, and this. And before he could finish, Ortiz is like, come on, man, I know this guy. I have YouTube. Huh? David, if you're watching, I don't know what that meant, but yeah. Awkward 47-year-old bald white dude move there. So whatever, it is what it is. Hey, subscribe. Let me know what you think about all of this. Is it blue dabu dee dabu die or blue if I were green I would die? And check out the Inner Circle. We'd love to have you a part of it. JamieGruber.com. I'll see you on the next one.